Hello, everybody. My name is ct-dax, and welcome back to our second ever podcast video. Yes, we're back with the one, the only, the Oni. How you doing, man?
I'm excited, very excited to get back into it. Actually, I've been just this entire time. I've just been wanting to get back into the lore. It's got a hold of me, man. Like it's dragging. It wants me back.
Oh yeah, I've felt much the same. I've been stewing these last few weeks, trying to get ready for the next episode. It's just like we got so much to cover. It's just like I want to get into it.
Yes, the crave is there, you know.
So a massive thank you to everyone for responding to our last video. For the first video, it did very well, and we actually had a lovely comment from a friend named Arnold, which we'll go through his comment at the end of the video. They had a lot to bring us up to speed on, like general sort of stuff. It's like it's really informative things here, so we'll go through it and talk about it because it's just awesome. So yeah, here we are to talk about the war in heaven. Now, we had a quick little discussion about this. We're experimenting as we go through, but this time I'll read the paragraphs and we'll just pause in between each and have a general discussion and see what works best. Yeah, what's the best rhythm?
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't fall on our faces because that's always a general fear.
I mean, what's not a second episode without one flat face? You know what I mean?
That's true. I've had many a second video die.
Yeah, let's fingers crossed that won't happen to us. Fingers are crossed.
That's what 3rd, 4th, and 200th videos are for.
Yes, exactly. Oh wait, 3rd and 4th. Oh god, this sounds so scary.
Nah, it's like you fall flat in the 2nd, and the 3rd and 4th you do great.
Okay.
And then hope by 200 you've somehow survived. That's the rule of thumb.
200? 200? Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to 200 in about 3 years.
Oh god, here we go.
Well, we only did one a week. It'd be 52 videos a year. That's only what 106, 156 in 3 years. So we'd have to do 2 a week. See the math?
Yes, I'm seeing your math. I don't want to see your math.
So
I finished school. Don't want to see the math.
If we do 2 podcasts a week in 3 years, we can have 312 videos.
Ooh, yeah, we're not doing that.
Nah, we'll just do it every day.
Holy fuck.
Not even I have time for that.
Yeah, you'd have to give up your streaming career, dude.
I'd have to give up being a parent.
God.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the war in heaven. The terrible wars between the Old Ones and the Necrontyr that followed, known later in Eldari myth as the War in Heaven, would fill a library in their own right. But the Necrontyr could never win. Their superior technology was consistently outmaneuvered by the Old Ones thanks to their mastery of the webway portals and warp gates. Necrontyr were pushed back until they were little more than an irritation to the Old Ones' dominance in the galaxy. Quiescent? Okay. Quiescent threat, whatever the hell that is. Quiescent. Quiescent. Nuisance. I'm guessing that's maybe what it is. A nuisance threat clinging to the irradiated world among the Halo stars, exiled and forgotten. Necrontyr's fury was cooled by their long millennia of imprisonment of their home world, slowly transforming into an utter hatred towards all other forms of intelligent life and an implacable determination to avenge themselves upon their seemingly invincible enemies. Also, too, as a note, guys, I should have said it before we got started on this, we're reading all their information here directly from the wiki. So if we get something wrong, blame them. Or whoever I'm pointing at.
It's also called quiescent. It's the state and period of is inactivity or dormancy.
That's how you pronounce it? Quiescent?
Yeah, so it's a QUI, quiescent. Quiescent.
There should be an apostrophe in there, like, to break that up.
I think so, but like, hang on, let me hear it. Quiescent, apparently.
Quiescent. Okay, that makes more sense.
Sorry, I'm not gonna blame dyslexia on that one.
I finished school.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not even gonna blame my dyslexia. That one was just hard.
So that's already pretty cool. Like, so you see, like, the Necrotier, like they just got up like, yeah, we're going to take the fight to the old ones, and they just didn't have a hope in hell.
No, they just got shit stomped.
Yeah, just not a chance.
I mean, when you think about it, it just seems like it was going to go that way anyway. Like from obviously our last episode, they had only just started the space travel.
Yeah,
to the point, like where they found them, so they're like pushing out. While these guys were like flying through the warp like there's no tomorrow.
yeah, they're like,
and creating new civilizations everywhere.
yeah, like you got literally the power to create civilization, travel anywhere in the galaxy. What's this little pissant little race going to do to you?
Just flick. That's exactly it. Just fuck off.
It's like, oh, that's cute. You travel across your solar system, nuke.
Yeah, it just that's cute, big red button. Just a fuck off.
I feel there's a democracy in this.
Oh no.
But I think I just committed a sin. I quoted Helldivers in Warhammer.
Oh no! Why'd you do that?
Oh,
I did too. I actually just did the fucking fist movement.
Oh, I saw. It was half cropped,
good.
so you might be safe.
Oh, thank God. Whew! That is a war I can't win.
No. But in the face of defeat, the always fragile unity of the Necrotier began to fracture once more. No longer did the prospect of a common enemy have any hold over the desperate dynasties. Scores of generations had now lived and died in the service of unwinnable war, and many Necrotier dynasties would have gladly sued for peace with the other ones if the ruling Triarch had permitted it. Which makes kind of sense. Like, it's like, yeah, common enemy, we could do this, but these people are barely making it to 20. So, like, literally, they're going through thousands of people, millions.
Yeah, they literally just like, all right, you're just a lost fucking cause. Like, you're not worth the effort. But like, I find that funny because they said that the dynasties would have gladly sued for peace. Like, I just picture them in a courtroom. We sue you for justice. We sue you for peace. We want it.
And it makes sense too, because like with such a tiny lifespan as well. It's like, yeah, fight the old ones, or whoever the frog people are, and then they just get absolutely shit stomped into the ground. Their leaders want to keep fighting. It's just like, no, like I'm barely gonna live another 3 years. I'm only 19. I don't want to go and fight. Like I want to enjoy what little time I have.
Yeah, I mean, like but that's also funny that like they're losing to frogs.
Space frogs.
Space frogs. That sounds like a really cool race that they could put into fucking Warhammer. Just frog people. Just like space frogs.
Well, they're sort of is in the Warhammer fantasy.
Oh, you know what we should do?
Yes.
You know how they said, the two fucking space marine factions that technically don't exist anymore?
Mm-hmm.
We should make one and call it Space Frogs.
Oh, we leap on our enemies for the Emperor.
I mean, you could say that they specialize in like amphibian, like aquatic fights. Because I guarantee you, there's some water fucking factions out there. Actually, no, they would just blast the planet.
Yeah, but
never mind.
But it could be like a smaller thing, or like on that very same note, like fighting on aquatic planets and whatnot, or gaseous areas. Like you have to have certain rigging and training.
Frogmen.
I think there was actually a military company, a real thing called Frogmen.
I think there was. I mean, that actually makes more sense having like frogmen fighting in like harsh environments, like gas areas, water, hellish fucking hellfire planets, like the one that fucking the Primarch of Salamander grew up on.
Frogman is a real thing.
Is it actually? Damn.
A frogman is someone who is trained in scuba diving or swimming underwater in a tactical capacity that includes military in some European countries.
Cool.
I thought I heard it somewhere.
I think that would be a pretty cool fucking... I think we're onto something for a Space Marine chapter.
So I'm guessing frogman is like the European version and like American is like the SEALs.
SEALs, yeah, that makes more sense.
Their counterpart. Okay,
yeah.
that makes sense.
I mean, that could be.
But hey, I know one thing.
What should be wrong too?
I'm probably wrong.
What's some fucking military nerd getting there goes, actually, SEALs are this and frogmen are this. Just like, okay.
The frogmen, they stood up against the French to protect their pastries. Or
And
some
then they
shit like
turn
that.
him into a delicacy. Like, let's be real, they got turned into frog's legs.
The Revenge of the Frogmen.
Oh.
Thus began the second iteration of the Wars of Secession, more widespread and ruinous than any that had come before. So fractured had the Necrotic dynasties become by then that the old ones had been so inclined, they could have wiped out the foes with ease. Faced with total collapse of their rule, the Triarchs searched desperately for a means of restraining or restoring, not restraining order.
Restraining order. Wow.
Restraining order, that's a new one.
Yeah, that took a 180 turn from what they were doing.
In this, their prayers were answered, though the price for their species would be incalculably high. Oh yeah, I'm just going to keep going to the next one.
Yeah, keep going.
This is getting juicy. It was during the reign of the Silent King Zarek that the godlike energy beings known as the Satan first blighted the Necrotir. It's impossible to say for certain how the Necrotir first made contact with the Satan, though many misleading, contradictory, and one-sided accounts of these events exist. The dusty archives of the Tomb World of the Somnus claimed it was but an accident, a chance of discovery made by a stellar probe during the investigation of a dying star. The Book of Mournful Might, held under close guard in the Eldari Black Library. Oh yeah, that's a cool place we'll find out about later. The library's innermost sanctum tells rather that the raw hatred of the Necrotir held as a species for the Old Ones sang out across space, acting as a beacon that the Satan could not ignore. Ooh. Interesting.
I mean, when you think about it, it makes sense, like Satan would have looked at the fucking Necrons and gone, wow, this is like an easy feasting. Like, that's just like easy dinner, man. You know what I mean? Like, they don't even have to try hard to do this.
Yeah.
And so, from what I know about, like, they didn't try hard at all, to be honest. Like, they found out really quickly that these guys were desperate as fuck.
Yeah, well, like they were saying there that it was by accident, but like go back millions of years, only a handful of beings will actually know how it sort of happened. Actually, I think there's maybe 3 or 4 beings that actually know outside of the gods.
Ah. Ooh.
Because there was only, to my knowledge, there's only a handful of Necrons from that time still getting around with their memory mostly intact. I don't know.
Usually, I mean, they would have lost their fucking minds by now.
Yeah. So, dude, fucking God knows, to be honest, but that's interesting. But the Black Library, we'll find out later. That's really cool.
All right, something's tickling your fancy, clearly.
Oh, it's fancy stuff.
Oh.
I know a little bit of it. Like I read some part of it, a little bit aspect of it in a book, and it's some trippy shit. And very difficult to get into. Another account claims that from the earliest days of their civilization, Necrotic scientists have been deeply engaged in stellar study to try and understand and protect themselves from their own sun's baleful energies. After long, bitter centuries of searching for some power to unleash upon the Old Ones, Necrotic researchers use stellar probes to discover unusual electrodynamic anomalies in the oldest dying stars of the galaxy. In the complex schemes of the energetic plasma of these suns, the Necrotic found an intelligence that was more ancient than that of any other corporeal species in creation, including the Old Ones. Entities of pure energy that had spawned during the birth of the stars eons before. Right, okay, so searching the older stars, like, what's going on here? Like, those stars probably aren't necessarily old, they're being eaten.
Yeah, so these guys have got they're like, oh wow, these suns must be like really old, when in fact their lifespan is just being drained. Yeah. So these guys have like going here with like the information, like, wow, these stars are really old, or like they've got the information that, wow, these solar systems are way older than the old ones we know of, but yet they come across these giant energy beings, and they're like, oh, well, shit.
Which makes me kind of laugh. In that same regard, thinking about that, and also like Star Trek and other times, it's like, oh wow, a new alien species. Excuse me while my alien device just scans you. What could possibly go wrong?
But not only that, it's like what I picture them doing is like, traveling for like years and stuff. They pop in like where they think they're gonna see like a sun, where they're like, oh, we found a new planet that we can live on now, and then there's this giant energy being like, wrong fucking way. It's just like, whoa! It's just like, you think how many times they would have gone, oh shit, I'm just gonna.
Well, it's actually
fancy shit.
On that same note as well, it's kind of interesting this to our very current position. Like, you look up the stars right now, the stars you're looking at in the sky, we're seeing how light travels versus time. We're looking at the stars like a million years ago, what they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, if we just snapped our fingers and went to where those stars is now, that's done. Stars probably gone. So these
Yeah,
people,
that's actually-
they're probably out exploring. Like, yeah, we'll go to this star. It looks a little bit old. We get over there, and looks like, and all of a sudden, the star's aged millions of years.
Or
so,
not even that. By the time they get there, the star's dead.
Gone.
Like it's
Yeah.
just evaporated. Because
Yeah, this new star is only 10 million years old. It should be around for another 6 billion. By the time we get there, it should have plenty more. And then it's like, oh no, it's going to end in a week. Like, uh-oh.
If you think of the science behind that as well, like you think of this, right? Technically, wherever the Satan has gone, there's never actually been like a solar explosion, like what our sun would do if it dies. It would like evaporate us and stuff like that. It would burn us alive.
Nova.
Supernova. However, if a Satan was there, it wouldn't reach that stage. It wouldn't explode. It would just fizzle out and it'd just be like a rock. Because the sun is a core. It's a star. It has a core.
Yeah.
But if you think about it like that, literally, if they suck the fucking the lifespan out of a star, it'd just be a rock. It would. You'd be like hitting an asteroid.
Pretty much.
Like that's how crazy that shit is. Like, one, cool. That would be an amazing way for like, I mean, technically, without it going completely supernova and roasting our planet. However, as soon as the sun dies, if a Saturn was there, we'd freeze to death immediately.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's no win to this option, but
no.
I could just think about it, right? These guys, imagine how many times they've gone to an old star after the Saturn has already been there. By the time they get there, they just say, dink, the sun's gone. Like, they just accidentally run into it and the fucking bounces off their ship. You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't even notice. They'd be like, wait, wasn't there supposed to be like a sun here?
Two things, actually. I just read then, sun's core, its density is 20 times that of iron. So woof.
It wouldn't even be that. It'd just be like a giant metal chunk.
Pretty much. But whatever the core is, yes, 20 times denser than iron, so that's super denser, strong.
So we don't actually know what the composition is. But
you can measure it.
That is super strong, but like that's exactly it. It would be left. That's it. It'd just be it left.
And two, have you ever heard of hypernovas?
No.
A hypernova is an incredibly rare thing for good reason. So you know how like a supernova could destroy a solar system?
Yeah, it goes outwards, right? Like it's just a blinding red beam.
A hypernova can go across a galaxy in like a wave, just wipe out everything in its path.
Wait, our sun can't get to that. It's too young.
No, ours can't do that.
Yeah, it's also too small.
Yeah, it takes. It
has to be bigger.
Big things to do it. Big space things.
Well,
but...
I mean, let's be real. Every fucking star out there that we see is a sun.
Yes.
That's what's like. The people don't understand. Like, oh, the stars are so twinkly. But no, that is a giant ball of plasmatic flame that is just sitting there.
Here we go. Hypernova is a rare and extremely powerful stellar explosion that occurs when a massive star collapses into a black hole.
Right, a stellar star. That makes more sense.
Yeah, one of the big ones.
Yeah, stellar stars are the big boys. They're like the size of like 2 to 3 suns of ours.
Ooh. Hypernova is a type of supernova, but is much more energetic, sometimes up to 100 times more powerful. It's thought to happen when a star is more than 30 times the mass of the sun collapses into a black hole. The resulting explosion is surrounded by an accretion disk that emits twin astrophysical jets. I heard about this. So when a hypernova goes off, it actually shoots 2 jets of energy out, and that's what decimates things.
So, like, I just wanted to.
That's really cool.
So the mass of the sun is approximately 330,000 times that of the Earth, and what you just said is 30 times that of the sun. So let's
no 100.
100 times. Sorry, hang on. Let me just. Sorry, if I just get the calculator, right? Holy shit, that's a big calculator. Like, okay, if I type it, sorry, that was my entire screen. So 30,000, 1, 2, 3, times 100,000.
300,000.
Is 33 billion.
Wait, did you say 100,000 you times it by?
Yeah, isn't that what it's like?
No, times by 100.
Give me a second. Sorry,
I was going to say, well, there's a few extra zeros there. My math, unless my math is wrong.
So, and then you said it's times 100, right?
Yeah.
That's 33 million. That's still a big fucking number.
Yeah. Kaboom.
That is that one star is 33 million times denser than the planet, like our planet.
Yes. Big.
Like, and imagine it, and if that thing were, oh god, holy fuck, that would fry its entire galaxy.
Yes.
Holy shit! And these guys are just just
Yeah. So when you think about
shit.
stuff like that, like if a sun went kaboom inside of a black hole and has the power to annihilate a galaxy with its two jets just streaming out everywhere, these things are
Inside a
flying
black
around.
hole, you said.
Yeah, when they collide.
I was going to say a black hole also sucks in light, so the amount of energy it's releasing to escape a black hole.
Yeah.
I
And
genuinely
these
thought nothing was
fuckers
stronger than
are
the black
just
hole.
floating around like angels, drinking this shit for eons.
Just
So
like,
then you think, how
fuck.
fucking powerful are these things?
yeah, they sneeze and they erase half the galaxy. Like, no, sorry, not half the galaxy, half of all galaxies.
Probably could. Like, that's an ungodly amount of power you're consuming.
And then they decided to go suck the souls of Necrons. Like, what?
Yeah, we haven't got to the souls part. Like, apparently souls are, like, I mean, in any sort of media, souls are incredibly powerful, batteries and shit, but I don't know how powerful.
Yeah, true. Oh, well, I mean, that's crazy.
So I'll keep going where we were. We went on a bit of a tangent then. I lost where we were up to.
I think it's the acting beacon that the Satan can't ignore. Could not ignore. So wrong. Another.
Okay, here we go. So these entities had little conception of what the rest of the universe entailed when the Necrotyr first found them, feeding upon the solar flares and magnetic storms of these bloated red giants. He was the weapon the Necrotyr long sought to bring down the downfall of the Old Ones, beings that they believed were the progeny of the death god that they had long worshipped. Howsoever, first contact occurred, the shadow of the Satan fell over the oldest Necrotyr dynasties first. The power of these starborn creatures was incredible. The raw energy of the stars made animate facts, and the Necrotyr called them the Satan, or star gods in their own tongue. The Satan were dispersed across areas larger than whole planets. Wait, back up. The Satan were dispersed across areas larger than whole planets, their consciousness too vast for humanoids to comprehend. How the Necrotyr ever managed to communicate with them was unknown to the Adeptus Mechanicus, understanding that such diffuse minds could never perceive the material universe without manifesting themselves in a material form. Some Necrotyr actively sought the Satan's favor and oversaw the forging of physical shells for the Satan to occupy, cast from living metal called necrodermis that they had once used for the colony torch ships. Ooh.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is A, they needed a way to communicate with the star gods.
Right.
Satan. B, they made shells for the which it blows my mind that these guys who couldn't fight the old ones somehow managed to make necrodermis, which were like living metal, so that the Satan could occupy. So they literally gave a body to God, practically.
It's probably the closest description.
But like this is what confused me. These guys who got shit stomped by frog people have now built living metal for star gods.
Well, yeah. We also don't. What we don't know
I guess
too
they
is
maybe got the information from them.
One, or a couple of things what we don't know is like how many minds are actually working on this. Number one. Number two, we don't know how long over time all these events have happened. This could have been thousands of years of fighting the old ones, and the old ones just like kept brushing them off in skirmishes. We don't know how much time has progressed. Three, you're based on the lifespan and just how quickly the Necrons go through people. They're probably just accumulating all their knowledge and just passing on to the next gen, the next gen, the next gen. So the next gen, even though they're still progressively dying, the next generation is probably getting taught earlier and earlier and getting smarter and smarter.
Yeah,
So
and it also seems like while the Star Gods couldn't technically communicate, there must have been some way that they did,
yeah,
because like these guys may have gotten like plans from, because these guys, from what I'm reading as well, it says that their consciousness is too vast for humanoids to comprehend.
yeah.
For humanoids to comprehend,
Well,
because
humanoids.
we might not be able to comprehend it, as in like the fucking
Well,
Eldari, all that kind of
humanoid
stuff.
is the term for basically anything that, you know, 2 legs, 2 arms.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like these guys, I guarantee you, it's two bus four. Oh, I mean, it makes
So
sense. But I
like
guarantee that they've had some way of communicating.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, it's how they sort of figure that. Maybe they were doing smoke signals. Like, we don't know. Maybe they moved in intricate patterns, and then the Satan replicated. Like, they tried to do an Independence Day, and that went so well for them.
Actually, I take that back. I just read the last bit of what you said there. So while the Satan oversaw the forging of physical cells for the Satan, cast from the living metal of necrodermis that they had once used for the colonial tech ships. So technically, they already had it.
Yeah, they already had the Necrodermis.
They had the necrodermis, which they were like, all right, you know what, fuck it, let's make them a body out of this shit.
Yeah,
That's living metal.
Yeah, that's their main material that they did and been using across the stars.
Now I think about it, it could have actually just been expedited just because of that. The fact that they already know how to use necrodermis.
Maybe.
So,
maybe, or maybe we haven't even gotten there yet. Maybe they were having some sort of reaction to the Necrodermis.
and they're like, oh, well, clearly these guys like necrodermis. Let's give them necrodermis.
Maybe, but let's keep going. Fragmentary Eldari legends tell of translucent streamers. Sorry, that made me giggle. I don't know why. It's like, I'm waiting to see that Twitch category next.
Translucent streamers is the Twitch category. And it's just invisible streamers. It's like, hey guys, I'm here. Like, wait, who am I watching? It's just like chair moving back and forth.
Oh, I'm waiting for it. It'd be kind of funny.
You know, technically, you could do
yeah,
that.
they have one of the shitty green screen morph suits on, so like it fades out, but you have that crap outline.
Yeah, so they know you're still there.
I'd watch it.
Me too, to be honest. It'd be funny as fuck.
So, legends tell of translucent streamers of electromagnetic force shifting across space as the star vampires coiled into their new bodies. In the physical realm, across an incorporeal bridge of starlight, thus clad, the Satan took the physical shapes of the Necroteer's half-forgotten gods, hiding their true desires beneath cloaks of obsequious subservience. Obsequious? Yeah, whatever it is. They're being sneaky. Some of these words are a bit trippy. So...
Got it. Hang on. I got it. So, it's called obsequious.
Okay, so I wasn't too far off.
The obedient or attentive to an excessive or several degree.
Interesting.
So it's like they're being like the comply seems like a compliance in a way. Obsequious compliance from obsequial follow to comply with. So yeah, it's so obedient or attentive to the excessive or several degree.
So that's already pretty interesting. Like some Eldari legends tell like electromagnetic force is actually shifting across space as these powerful beings moved into physical form. That's cool.
I mean, wouldn't it react? That's like you've got the energy of dying stars, and you're shoving them into bodies bigger than one of the like a Necron.
Probably like the closest reference we could have to that is the Aurora Lights, because that's caused by that's our electromagnetic field. That protects us from the sun. So if you suddenly saw the Aurora Lights, all of a sudden they just went in a V formation over a mountain, you'd go, holy shit.
Goddess descending.
He has little turns.
I mean, but like, I think like wouldn't you? It would send shockwaves no matter where you are on the planet. because that much energy into that small of a space.
And how it didn't explode is beyond me.
I mean, it's living metal. Maybe it's just like it formed around them.
Yeah,
like,
but even
to suit
Terminator
them.
had limits.
Have we really based that off Terminator?
I know it's a shit reference, but
it's a really dumb reference. Like, why would you put that there?
Things have limits, so maybe a tiny portion of themselves went into the suits.
True, but then they would be literally walking energy, because that shit would be overflowing from them. Maybe they are putting like a little bit of consciousness in it. Maybe.
Oh, I don't
siphon a bit and just.
We'll get to the next bit.
Still,
yeah.
I mean, still, like, you think about it, even just a slight bit of that and put it into the fucking, into living metal, that thing is like deity. Like, that much power. That like, just that single amount of power is probably is stronger than a Primarch. You know what I mean?
Like, the very first line is going to talk about the very thing. Like, incomprehensible forces were compressed into living metal of the necrodermis bodies, which the Necroteer had forged as the full power of the Satan in last found form. Okay, full power. That's scary as fuck. As the Satan focused their consciousness and became ever more aware of their new mode of existence, they came to appreciate the pleasures available to beings of matter and other realities of corporeal life. They deliciously focused trickles of electromagnetic energy given off by the physical bodies of the Necroteer all about them awakened a new hunger in the Satan, very unlike the one they once sated using the nourishing but essentially tasteless energy as the stars. Oh, so they found flavor.
Yeah, and that's where they're like, hey, your souls are tasty.
Oh boy, that ain't good.
I mean, so
this is what life is?
They come to appreciate pleasures and stuff. That's cool. Scary, but like, fucking, you gave like star vampires the ability to like feel, taste, hear, sight. Like, imagine what they would have seen. They'd only seen like energy waves and shit, like, and stuff like that. But now they're like, holy shit, you fuckers are ugly. But I'll eat you anyway.
So it was that one of the Satan came before the Silent King Zarek, acting as forerunner to the coming of his brothers. Amongst his own kind, this Satan was known as the Feltran. The Feltran?
The Deceiver.
Ooh.
I love that. I love that nickname already. The Deceiver.
Yeah, the Deceiver, for he was willfully treacherous. Yet the Silent King did not know the Satan's true nature, and instead granted the creature an audience. The Deceiver spoke of a war fought long before the birth of the Necroteer between the Satan and the Old Ones. It was a war, he said, that the Satan had lost. In the aftermath and in the fearing the vengeance of the Old Ones, he and his brothers had hidden themselves away, hoping one day to find allies with whom they could finally bring the Old Ones to account. Oh, shit.
Right, so he's lying straight to their face.
It's like, we're older than the universe. We'll play your game.
Well, yeah, I guess
this could be fun.
Actually, now that I think about it, that's extremely... they did say that they had incomprehensible intelligence, so they would have known that these guys are fighting the Satan. Oh, sorry, fighting the Old Ones, and they're like, hey, technically, we're stronger than the Old Ones anyway, but like, we'll play along to see if you guys can trust us more. These are fucking devious,
man. It just said that now they have these new corporeal forms, so now they're getting the taste, pleasure, and sensations that we normally do. So, okay, if I do this, that feels fine. If I go lie to you, like, that felt good to do. And then, these are beings that have been around forever. They've probably watched the Old Ones do everything they do, and they've probably seen a few skirmishes with the Necrons. It's like, this could be fun.
Yeah, it'd be like, but now that they've also got like the taste, they'll be like, what do you taste like? You know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, all right, let's get you guys to follow us and stuff like that.
Well, it hasn't even said yet. Like, they haven't even tasted souls yet, so we haven't even gotten to that.
That's the thing. Like, these guys have incomprehensible intelligence. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm wondering if it's more referring to the fact like they have a taste now for everything.
Oh.
Not just souls and power, but they have
make more sense.
Yeah, they have a new perception on life. So instead of just consuming energy, I'm going to consume everything.
Yeah, like I'm going to
knowledge, joy, lies. I want it all.
Yeah. Oh god, it's greed.
I love it. It's power.
It's power.
In return for his aid, the deceiver assured he and his brothers would deliver everything that the Nekrati craved. Unity could be theirs once again, and the immortality that they had sought for so long would finally be within their grasp. No price would be. Sorry, I just screwed up there. No price would there be for these gifts, the deceiver insisted, for they were but boons to be bestowed upon valuable allies. Thus did the deceiver speak, and who can say how much of this tale was truth? It is doubtful whether even the deceiver knew, for trickery had become such a part of his existence that even the Satanic could no longer divine its root. Yet his words held sway over Zared, who, like his ancestors before him, despaired of the divisions that were once again tearing his people apart. For long solar months, he debated the matter with the other two pharaohs of the Triarch and the nobles of his royal court. Through it all,
So
sorry. I may as well just keep going. This is that way we get the whole thing.
Yeah, keep going.
Through it all, the only dissenting voice was that of Orican. Oh shit, I know him. The court astrologer of the Triarch, who foretold.
That sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, he's cool. Who foretold that the alliance between the Nekrati and the Satan would bring about the renaissance of glory, but destroy forever the soul of the Nekrati people. Yet desire and ambition swiftly overrode caution, and Orican's prophecy was dismissed. A Nekrati year after the deceiver. A Necronty year, that's a bit of a trip.
Yeah, so it's like their adaptation of the year.
Yeah, you better saying it. A Necronty year after the deceiver had presented his proposition, the Triarch agreed to the alliance and so forever doomed their species. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I reckon he's cool. I'm pretty sure you can play him on the tabletop now. I'm not entirely certain.
Orican clearly knew that these guys were like, there's something going on here.
It's like, yeah, we'll get power and everything we want, but our people will be dead inside.
Yeah. Which he quite literally called.
Yes.
They got all the power in the world for being a Necron, but literally dead inside.
Yeah. But then you think about it, so it's like our people are once again divided. We're killing each other over dumb shit again. We can't come together. We're still dying of our sickness. This whole time over years and years and years and generations, we're still dying of space cancer.
Oh, yeah, shit. I forgot. They only live for like 20 years.
Yeah, 20, 30 years and then...
Actually, yeah, it's 22-30, so they could be like 15 and kick the bucket.
Pretty much. So all this is going on. It's just despair. Like, how the fuck they even form a government is beyond me.
How the fuck that these three are staying in power is beyond me.
Oh, yeah, they've probably been assassinated more than a few times.
Yeah. I mean, not just that, but like, when you think about it, right? If a Necrotier lives to about 20 to 30 years, and yet in the same time that they manage to build bodies for the Satan, it just proves that clearly they had the expedited means. It didn't take them very long.
Yeah, which means they're still probably pretty advanced at this point.
Yeah, so they're just not, which it puts in perspective how advanced the fucking old ones are. If they're kicking the shit out of these dudes.
Yeah.
And yet these guys are like building living bodies for star gods. It's like, it's like still trying to like process where everything fits in.
Yeah.
But like once you do start thinking about it, the pieces just click.
Yeah, it's always the issue with trying to power scale things. It's like, you can be a super advanced race, you can do all this stuff. I'm gonna use a Mass Effect reference, fuck it. You could be the Asari, you've been around for ages, you're like mega advanced, you do all this cool shit, you move shit with your mind, like with the blue space magic. Yeah, Mass Effect fields and such. But you can't even compete with the Reapers.
No.
The Reapers come across the galaxy and wipe out everything every 50,000 years. And apparently the ones that made the Reapers were millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of years ago. So they've been at it a very long time. So you couldn't even comprehend the technology or just the knowledge.
Yeah.
So
when you think about
power scale is vastly different.
Yeah, so nothing technically ever stays that way, though, you know? Like, it always seems to, like, the smarter you get, the closer you are to your own annihilation, and then it goes back to, like, square one.
Pretty much. It's like, hubris.
But that's also cool, because, like, you think about, like, the stuff that we're digging up for, like, archaeology and stuff like that. They just found the largest Roman dodecahedron.
Cool.
They literally found that last week.
That's pretty sweet.
It was unearthed, but the thing is, they don't know what it was for. but they found it. It was a massive hand-scale dodecahedron.
Interesting.
And then they also found the oldest, oldest, what was it? The oldest can, well, not can, I don't really know how to say it, but it's the oldest stick of lipstick container. They had the ability that we had to apply lipstick back then.
Not surprising if you figure out how to do wax and colors and shit.
Yeah,
but granted, going way back then and having it in a sealed container, oh, absolutely. But like, what the thing is, or what's in there, yeah. That's where my mind went first.
Yeah, well, I mean, agreed. Like, it is pretty easy to get to that point. But like, it was a silver tube that can rotate.
Interesting.
That would push the wax up. So, thinking about it back then is like they had the technology, but now we've just got the technology now. Like,
yeah, it's because all the smart people died.
Yes, that's also true.
Well, we'll get this next thing. We'll get back to it. I just recently saw they have a new theory on how they built the damn pyramids. They reckon vibration to move the stones. Instead of having 50,000 people pull these slabs all the way across, they'd say, you know, like how like a tuning fork, you know, you flick it, and you all your stuff at your desk will vibrate and shift. Same concept. They do something very similar to get the stone to vibrate, and then
they had
move.
Giant tuning forks on the rocks, and that would move the rock.
The concept of like that, yeah, I don't know the specifics or anything, but that's what I was hearing. Like, okay, that's actually pretty intelligent. If you could figure that out.
I mean, when you think about it, it also makes sense because they also had a theory that instead of having they were dragging giant rocks, they were dragging it on logs.
Yeah.
So one person would like move the log over in front of so they could keep it just roll.
And then you think
how easy it would be to move.
Yeah, you think that, and then you have all that. It's still a shitload of weight. You could have a heap of people, mammoths, elephants pulling it. Still, that's a lot, and to do rapidly. But if you could do something to get it to vibrate, to move at a frequency, you can almost float over those rocks. Logs, sorry.
But then you're also like, it could also technically be. Do you know the liquid sand technique that scientists use?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, is it called living sand? I don't really know what it is, but they blow air into sand, which lessens it and makes people be able to walk on top of it, but so easily.
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Is if they had these giant pumps pumping air into sand, they could push a rock along top of it.
Well, I find it funny. People are always like, "Oh, the people in Egypt, it was aliens that helped them." It's just like, no, get three blokes in a room try and figure out a problem. We get pretty creative.
Not only that, but like, why would a pyramid? Let's be real. Why would a space civilization who managed to cross thousands of years would build a pyramid out of blocks?
Yeah,
doesn't seem that advanced to me.
And if there was anything super advanced or alien infinite, like people have combed the living fuck out of those pyramids. Where's the the switch that calls the aliens?
Yeah. Not only that.
Where's the thing in the mummy? The whole thing collapses in 10,000 scarabs. Like, I don't see that shit.
Yeah, but we're also technically getting into like the world that now they're believing that aliens are in the water, in the oceans.
I'd buy that. I've seen the videos too.
Have you actually? I haven't seen them. I want to see them, but
some of them look pretty
skeptical.
Some look pretty hokey, and others are just like, okay, that's pretty legit because like these actual reports are coming from people like they're in like an F-16, they're flying along, and they look over and they see this thing looks like a floating tic-tac, and all of a sudden it just goes and does Mach 10. It's like, yeah, that's not normal.
I need to see some of these videos because I haven't seen them, but like that's what I'm saying. Like apparently, which I don't know. So to me, I want to believe it because it would make sense about the Bermuda Triangle and just how much of a mystery that fucker is.
That is a true mystery, yes.
Like things going in it and never coming out makes no sense. So like, it would be really cool is if it is actually being protected by aliens. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. Cool.
But that also means that like the world would have to accept that we've been living with aliens for like
God knows
how long.
Ironically, which I find kind of hilarious too, and it was actually my response to TikTok as well. Is like you have these people they're coming out to the U.S. Congress and telling them, this is the thing, these are the reports we're getting about aliens, and almost no one gave a shit.
Yeah, but did you also,
even
it's also the
TikTok
same-
itself was like, eh, and they moved on. They gave more of a fuck about a person shaking their ass and like, hey, these are reports of aliens. I'm a US government official. These are the
Not only
aliens.
that.
And
Not
then
only that.
swipe, shake that ass for me. It's just like, oh my fucking god.
Not only that, but it's also the whole fact that an Area 51 member came out and said, yes, we are testing alien spacecraft and alien technology at Area 51. Literally came out and said it with proof, and everybody's like, huh, oh well.
That was my exact point. It's like, so if aliens independent scientists were floating over New York, people will be beeping at it, telling it get out of the way. I want my son.
Not only
No,
that, but
no one would give a shit.
Do you remember when everybody was like, "Oh, let's go to Area 51 and find like there was all these
Oh,
conspiracies about Area 51"? I'm like, and then when they come out about it and say it, they're like, "Oh, you took the fucking fun out of it." You know what I mean? It's like people are just like,
I find it fucking
What?
hilarious. There was people trying to run to Area 51, doing the Naruto run. This is like, you do
I
realize
remember
the
that. There was a
second
whole-
you put
there
a
was a whole
foot
people-
on that base, they are legally allowed to shoot you.
Yes, they will, and they don't hesitate to do it too. They
No.
have done it.
You're quite literally a group of people storming a military base. Good luck.
But that's the thing. Like, there were so many stories I've read about like the actual like, and their accounts from like some military personnel that worked at Alien 51, Area 51. That literally there's one of the mountains has a post on it, right? Like an outcrop post. And the story that he tells, in the amount of detail that he tells it, just does not seem like somebody who can make up that image. Like, in their mind, they can't make up that story because you can tell the difference between a story writer. Yes, they give you the detail, they paint the picture, and then like an army guy that's just like, I shit you not, something was standing on the bunker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like a story would be like, I hear a sound. It is eerily quiet. The moon glistening in the background. Like, they're painting the picture of everything around them.
Yeah.
While this guy's just like, dude, when I walked outside that bunker, I saw a being that was like 8 feet tall, standing on top of it, staring me directly in the eyes. I was like, wow. I mean, fucking A, good on you for surviving that, but like, shit.
Just still alive for Markiplier. I turned around. And there it was.
I
couldn't help myself. I turned around.
No,
I don't believe in ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts. Just like insert the Markiplier clip here.
Oh, we went majorly off topic.
Yeah.
And let us know in the comments. Do you guys prefer we go on wild tangents about crazy shit or just stick to Warhammer?
I mean, yeah, we're open to it all. Honestly,
Yeah,
like
we're still
if you want it.
Yeah. Oh, you go.
If you want us to experience like the Warhammer side of it and just focus on the Warhammer, let us know. Other than that, we are more than happy to go on a tangent to like intersect the Warhammer world with our world. It'd just be fun, like it's a great laugh.
Well, the cosmic irony is like this is our podcast, so we can do whatever the fuck we like. But it does. It does make
wrong.
To put it like in a little bit of perspective, it does make it feel a bit more natural. Like we're reading a story and then we're looking for the correlations in our life, and what's real, what's bullshit.
True, but we're also trying to like state that if this was our life, and this stuff actually is happening in our world, that humans, like, while I think we would be scared, yes, I think there would be like a part of us would be like, I really don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna go like shake my ass for views on TikTok.
Yeah, that is legitimately like if aliens properly Independence Day style turned up tomorrow by 6 p.m. People will be back on TikTok shaking their asses. Like nothing would really change unless all of a sudden New York went kaboom.
Well, that like I mean, okay. Well, it also would be like how they actually technically introduce themselves. If they say, "Hey, we're here to destroy you," yeah, people wouldn't do that. They'd be like, "Oh fuck, all right, let's chill out."
I bet you there would be like, one. There would be one.
Yeah, there would.
It's like no one else is online right now. If I do it, I'll get all the views.
Not only that, they'll have the video of it playing up in the corner while they shake their ass, so people can still watch the video.
Tap that screen. Every time you tap the screen, I'll shake my ass and I'll stop the aliens. someone would fucking do it. I will put $1 million on it. Someone would do it.
I don't even want to take you back because I know someone will fucking do it. Like that's I don't even want to take that. That is a loss for me. But like if they said, "Hey, we come in peace. We actually genuinely want to help you," people would be like, "I mean, we'll take your technology, but like, can you make TikTok come in like 4K or some shit?" Like that's what they'd be more excited about. They wouldn't be excited about, "Oh, we could have space travel." No, they'd be like, "Hey, can you make my fucking like phone come out of my arm, like a screen out of my arm or some shit?" Be like,
That'd be cool. Go cyberpunk because aliens.
the fucking
I'd be having that.
the shit in the eyes. Oh, I want that so bad. Like that, like the Arasaka, like the calls and shit that you can make in your eyes. Oh.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Let's imagine how sick would that be. You wouldn't get these idiots texting and driving because they can see the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're doing stuff from like one eye, maybe.
Yeah, but if you're seeing all that shit in your literal eyeballs, how long till some moron sitting there watching porn while he's driving?
Actually, that would be probably one of the guys that I work with. You know who you are if you see this. But
just put him on blast.
I don't care. He's such a dirty bastard. But yeah, like in Cyberpunk, it's not just like right in front of your eye. It's out a bit that you can kind of see it. Like there's like it says almost like you've got a heads-up display that you can still see everything.
Yeah,
like, if you put on a VR headset.
I've played it, like, but anything in your peripheral is a fucking danger.
True. I mean, or it couldn't be because let's be real. People who play like fucking that new game. What's that new game? The Shadow of something. This is like the Titan Slayer game that they just came out with, which by the way I really want.
Shadow of the Erdtree? Shadow Colossus?
No. Shadow of the Colossus is completely different. It's kind of like Shadow of the Colossus, but in VR. They keep a health bar and stuff on your screen, but like you kind of just get used to seeing it. So you'd be like, "Oh, my health is okay." Like you don't have to look down to look at the health bar. So maybe people would just get used to it.
I don't know, but we got a lot to cover.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we're actually kind of close to the end of the War in Heaven.
Yeah, but still, we got a bit to do.
Yeah.
All right, so wait, because we just went on a massive tangent again.
I think we were. So yeah, it was.
I found it. Thus did the deceiver speak, and who could say how much of this tale was truth? It is doubtful whether even the deceiver knew, for trickery becomes so much a part of existence that Stan could not divine us. We just did that. Yeah. Though through it all, the only dissenting voice was that of Orican, the court astrologer of Tri. Yep. Have I?
Yes, you did, because that's like he's the one that had the prophecy about it being destroying their souls.
That's right, I did. See, we went on such a tangent, I completely forgot where I was.
You went back 2 paragraphs.
Hey, but we're going to refresh then. They lied, and Orican was like, no, don't do it.
And they were like, fuck you, we're doing it anyway.
For their part, the Necrotif soon fell into the awe of the discoveries, and the Satan moved to take control of their benefactors. The powers of the Satan manifested in the physical world were indeed almost godlike, and was not long before the Satan were being worshipped as the star gods the Necrotif had named them. Perhaps they had been tainted by the material universe that they had become a part of, or perhaps this had always been their true nature even when they were bound to the suns that they fed upon. But the Satan proved to be as cruel and capricious as the stars from which they were been born. They soon reveled in the religious worship of the Necrotir and feasted upon the electromagnetic life energies of countless mortal slaves.
So now they see, this is where they found out that souls takes good. Like the life energy. That's when they start to realize, oh, this tastes good, because they're feeding off mortal slaves now.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering, like, because it says the electromagnetic life energies. So many things...
brainwaves, maybe?
Everything has...
sucking away their brainwaves?
Yeah, electromagnetic field. Well, many things have electromagnetic fields. So maybe it just... Because there's so many people around them, it's like kind of like an aura that they're siphoning off, not actual souls. Maybe,
but it says, I mean, it's the electromagnetic life energies. You know what I mean? Like they could be like grabbing like slaves out of nowhere and just be like putting their hand on them and like sucking, almost like just like taking away their lifespan like they did with the stars.
So according to Google, yes, the human body produces electromagnetic fields. Living cells produce electric, magnetic, and electromagnetic fields that allow muscles to act and nerves to transmit information. The heart's electrical current produces a magnetic field around the torso. This magnetic field can be measured with a magnetocardiogram, MCG.
Yep.
The brain's electrical current produces a magnetic field around the head. This magnetic field can be measured with the magnetoencephalogram. The eyes intercept electromagnetic radiation and convert it to electrical signals. Oh shit, I didn't actually know that.
So in other words, they're literally actually just taking their life.
Yeah,
because they're stopping them from function. They're draining them completely.
Just by proximity.
So in other words, not only that, they actually are just taking their souls. Like, think about it. Without the electronic movement, we couldn't do anything.
I'd also like to point out for the record that if someone in the comment section wants to blast me over this is Google, but it came out with the first thing it came out with its AI overview. So I preface the information I just gave in case it's wrong, because the very last one it says is the electric field in the fingers allows you to depress laptop keys. I don't know if that's true.
To depress laptop keys? As in, like, press down?
I have no idea.
Well, it could also be... Well, that technically could be correct, considering that, you know, touchscreens and stuff, maybe?
I'd say probably half of that's correct. Some of the others, I'm leaving to scrutiny because AI can be correct, but it's also, like, it's top search thing on Google, like.
Crazy.
But yeah, from what I'm seeing here, like, yeah, the body definitely has EM fields, but they're very weak.
Well, that could make more sense because people go ghost hunting, which is using an EMF reader, which is the electromagnetic frequency reader.
Yeah, that actually...
Sorry, I mean, spirit thing is just my thing. I'm hella into the fucking...
No, that's a great point. I'd never actually put two and two together.
Yeah, so
mate, which I find kind of funny if you have a group of people together and all the EMFs going off, it's like, no, there's 4 idiots around one device.
Yeah, well, I mean, see, the thing is, the difference is that our bodies technically, as we do like give off the EMF and electromagnetic frequency, it is nullified very, very heavily. You can't put an EMF up to your body and it'll go off. If you did that, something's fucking wrong with you, or like you are actually about to have like an electromagnetic discharge.
Yeah.
But like, that's why when people go ghost hunting and it spikes randomly, it's because like there must be, like, again, an electromagnetic frequency vibrating on a different level to us that is just passing through.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when people say like, oh shit, you know, these EMF readers are faulty and shit because they go off when there's a group of people. Not really, because yes, we do give off an electromagnetic frequency. It's just not strong enough to ever give off a high enough one to make it go to red. Especially when there's like 4 or 5 of you. You'd have to be like literally hugging that shit like strength, and there had to be like 10 of you for that thing to hit red, just to even to hold it at red.
I'm getting funny images of that.
Just like 10 people like squished up together, like, go!
Like 10 people straddling an EMF. Is it red yet?
But yeah, like, that's why people use you know, spirit boxes, which is radio waves, again, electromagnetics that vibrate again on a different frequency to what we are. Hence why, like, again, when you use like one of those wall readers, you know painting, right?
Yeah.
So
stud finder.
One of those, stud finder. That's exactly it. Like, it measures the electromagnetic frequency coming out of a stud. You can't put that shit up to your body and it'll go beep. You know what I mean?
I had a stud finder on here. I could have actually put that to a test. I don't know where I put it.
I mean, you could. It proves me wrong. Go for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's
yeah.
It's whatever. But like, again, it's that fact that I can kind of say that the electromagnetic frequency kind of relates to us, but that's why people wouldn't say, oh, you know, it's your phone, or it's like it's you setting off the EMF read. I'm like, I'm sorry, but like, it's scientifically proven it's not. But okay.
Yeah. Like, everything.
I mean, I understand people say it to like try and make themselves feel better. Like, there isn't something there. There isn't something there. Like, there is something there.
So for what we gather from all that, and in summary, is like, okay, so we give off, or at least will relate to the Necrons, everything has like an electromagnetic field and energy around it. And so if they get enough countless mortal slaves in enough area, they could just siphon them from just being in the area.
Yeah.
But again, this has said nothing about souls yet.
I mean, true.
So
However,
it's just
like,
there.
You could technically, like, another one could pretty much say that the electromagnetic frequencies that we do give off it technically is our soul. Because, like, let's just say this, right? If I were to come over to you and take all your frequency out of you, every bit of it, you would cease to work.
Yes.
That's like saying someone's taking the soul out of you. You know what I mean? Like, you just cease to work.
Yeah, but I could say the same if I ripped your spine out, like.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a bit different, though.
If you remove anything from the body of importance, you're kind of screwed.
Well, but like an electromagnetic frequency is something that is obviously invisible to us. You know what I mean? Like, it's something
correct,
that we give out.
With such minute traces on a race that has space cancer, so would they even notice?
I think. Well, technically, I don't think they would, considering they drop dead anyways. So these guys are probably just, like, dropping dead normally.
There's this subtly siphoning from countless people being around them, but if that guy just falls over and dies, here was his time, space cancer.
I mean, you could technically say that about anything. Like, you could say that the electromagnetic frequency is your soul. You could say that your soul is your actual soul.
Yeah, but like, I think in this universe, soul is quite literal.
Oh, well, that makes more sense then. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if it's that way, then it's that way, you know.
Yeah, from what I understand, like when it comes to Warhammer, when they say something, they mean it. So they're talking about your soul. It's actually your soul. It's not fields or any of that crap.
All right. Well, I mean, so with that's the war in heaven that's completely covered.
Yes. So I just had a quick scan ahead. We've only got a couple paragraphs to get through to Necrons Ascendant. The biotransference and the rise of the Necrons. So this is when they transfer. So this is like a juicy spot.
Yeah, fuck it. We still got time. Let's do it.
Hey, we're cracking through.
Well, yeah, we're smashing it, even with our fucking tangents.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Who says we're not professional?
Me. I'm like, I am nowhere near a professional, thank you.
Silence ye. All right, so we got biotransference and the rise of the Necrons.
Here we go.
So I'll title this episode as well as The War in Heaven, because that's fun. When the Silent King saw what he had done, this is an excerpt. He knew at last the true nature of the Satan and of the doom they had wrought in his name. The excerpt from the Book of Mournful Night.
Would you like me to read that out like a nicer voice?
Well, sure.
Kind of those like, when the Silent King saw what he did. No, I'm not gonna do that. It's just like you read it out like in a deeper.
He sounded like a 70s detective from Chicago. When the Silent King saw what he'd done.
Hey, ready. Let's see if I can do it.
Cigarette.
When the Silent King saw what he had been done, he knew at last his true nature of the Satan and all the doom that had wrought in his name.
I feel like I'm about to watch
from the Book of Mournful Night.
I feel like I should go watch Sin City now.
Don't give me that much credit. It wasn't that fucking good.
That was the vibe that gave off. Yeah, they're just driving along, black and white, and they're talking, out loud in their head.
His name was Johnny.
Pretty much
he came into my office at like 10 at night, shaking from his head to toe. It was raining. With the puddle. I fucked that up. I was like, I had this whole inner monologue ready to go, but I screwed that.
That's right.
But you get the point.
I was about to throw in Batman anyway, so.
I'm Batman. Johnny walked into my building. I'm Batman. As he walks through the door.
Satan, help us. Armed with the weapons of godlike power and starships that could cross the galaxy in the blink of an eye through the use of quantum phase technology, the Necrontyrs stood ready to begin their war against the Old Ones anew. But the Satan had another gift for their mortal subjects. They offered the Necrontyr a path to immortality and the physical stability their species had always craved. The diseased flesh would be replaced with the living metal of the necrodermis that had made up their star god's own physical forms. Okay. Their discarded organic husks would be consumed, and their cold metal forms would then be free to pursue their great vengeance against the Old Ones and the rest of the hateful universe, freed forever from the weaknesses of their hated flesh. Okay, so that puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah, so technically they weren't actually after their souls. They were after just the husks of their bodies.
No, that's
They
just
literally just wanted to consume it.
I was just saying. Your diseased flesh would be left aside. But when you think about it, like at this time now, they're worshiping the Satan as gods. These gods
Yeah,
are in living.
they would follow it because they'd be like, "Hey, you're giving us immortality. Fuck yeah!"
Well, not just that. Like these gods, they're in metal bodies that we made, and they want to elevate us to their level.
Oh yeah, fuck
with
it.
immortality.
You'd be like, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, it's like the gods are uplifting us. So yeah, in a heartbeat you'd do it.
Yeah, almost like again, like they want us to evolve. They're trying to evolve you.
Mm.
Yeah,
That actually makes more sense now why they were so willing to do it.
Yeah, that makes way more sense why they're so willing to do it.
With the pact between the Necroteer and the Satan sealed, the Star Gods revealed that the form that immortality would take for the Necroteer and the great biotransference process began. Vast biofoundries were constructed, and into the Silent King's peoples marched according to the terms of the pact that he made with the Satan. What blasphemous procedures the Necroteer was subjected to within the raging biofurnaces cannot be known, but certainly each was stripped of flesh and of soul, and their body replaced by a shell of living metal necrodermis, much like the Satan themselves, animated by what remained of their guttering self. I'll read the next bit as well.
Yeah, go for it.
Above each furnace swooped and dove the ethereal true forms of the Satan as they gluted themselves on the spiritual and electromagnetic detritus of the entire species. Okay, so there was two to that.
Yeah.
Detritus, sorry. It was only when the Silent King himself emerged from the biotransference process and looked upon what had become of his people that he saw the awful truth of the pact he had made. The immortality and nigh godlike strength and vigor were his, and had come at the cost of his soul, the etheric remains of which he had already been sucked down the gullet of a circling Satan. Oof.
Oh, so not even like so in other words, they just had like a Satan wrap around the planet, and they just were like not one by one just going into a machine coming out as a thing. They literally just were like boom.
Yeah, they were just a bunch of them were just floating over the foundries, and everyone was going in the foundry line. They would sit there and just fill themselves up. Because, like, not only were they getting the electromagnetics, they were getting spiritual energy as well, and just consuming all of it.
Makes more sense when you say the spirits and stuff like the souls and stuff like that. Because okay, so now we understand what they mean by souls. It's like this spiritual like energy. No wonder souls actually mean a literal soul.
It's like we can stay here for a while and just slowly siphon off your entire species for food, or we can just get everything.
Yeah, we'll like do it all at once, so you guys can just like you guys don't even have time to react to what happened.
And not even just that, like now they're in these new forms, they have new tastes for other things. Okay, so now we have a taste for conquest. So like these guys suggested a plan to go out and fight all this stuff. Let's do it. We're bored.
Yeah, so they're gonna send their armies to them to conquest, so that the way the Satan can come do the exact same thing.
Yeah, they're the nefarious bastards.
Yeah, Jesus, respect though.
Yeah. As Sarek watched the Satan feast on the life essence of his people, he realized the terrible depth of his mistake. In many ways, he felt better than he had in Necrontyr decades. The countless aches and uncertainties of organic life now behind him, his new machine body was a far mightier than the frail form that he had tolerated for so long. And his thoughts were swifter and clearer than they had ever been. Yet there was a terrible emptiness gnawing at his mind, an inexpressible wholeness of spirit that defied rational explanation. In that moment, he knew with cold certainty that the price of physical immortality had been the loss of his soul. With great sorrow, the Silent King beheld the fate that he brought upon his own people. The Necroteer were now but a memory, and the soulless, undying Necrons had been reborn in their place.
Yeah, there we go. So now the Necrons are the Necrons now. So they're like, hey, we're killing machines. Like,
rise, Egyptian Terminators.
Yeah, how crazy that is.
Yeah. Like,
it's actually really funny that the entire, like, every species is just a different a theme of what happens in our world.
Yeah.
Necrons being Egyptians, Space Marine being like Greek, like Roman Greek style stuff.
European.
What European? What are the Tau?
Japanese. Eastern culture.
Eastern culture. Yep. Orcs are just
British.
I was gonna say Americans, but you know what it is.
Stupid is.
True. Oh. Yeah, it'd just be English.
Yeah.
Wow. So America, yeah, it should be English. Interesting. What about the Xenos? Actually, no, Xenos are just like
They just do
ferals.
whatever.
Yeah, kind of like thrown together. But then again, Xenos are like they are literal, just like a hive species, so you can't really give them a theme.
There. Yet, if the price had been steep, biotransference had fulfilled all the promises that Satan had made. Even the lowliest of Necromancy was now blessed with immortality. Aged and hard ionized radiation could little erode their new mechanical bodies. The only terrible of injuries could destroy them utterly. The biotransference process had embedded enigmatic command protocols in every Necron mind, granting Zarek the unswerving loyalty of his subjects. At first, the Silent King embraced his unanimity, for it was welcome reprieve from the chaos and fractiousness of that had consumed the Necromancer Empire in recent years. The entire species was now his to command, and so it fell upon the Necrons to honor the side of the terrible bargain. However, as time wore on, Zarek grew weary of his burden and dared not sever the command protocols, lest his subjects turn on him, seeking vengeance for the terrible curse he had visited upon them. Woof.
So, Zaraketh isn't a Satan, he's a Necron?
Yeah, he's Necron.
Okay,
he's the Silent King.
So what he's done, he's putting a protocol into all of the other Necrons so that way they wouldn't turn on him, they'd be loyal to him.
Yeah, so you've got you've got command override on everybody.
Oh, so in other words, these guys are like the Primarchs, in a way, of like their armies. They're like, sorry, no, hang on. Sorry, let me reword that. They're on the board. They're the high quality pieces, like your like your leaders and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah, they're the ones that like are special units.
Yeah, so he's the one issuing commands to everything. But if he releases control, what Necrons are there might reemerge. Their consciousness might reemerge, and they go, "Oh fuck, I'm stuck like this. I can't do anything."
And then kill him.
Yeah, but for the moment, he basically just has control over them, so they stay robot.
Yeah.
Oh, no emotion, no nothing.
Oh wow, he's suppressing their emotions as well. That's crazy.
I think that's what's going on here. So like, hey, I've given you immortal bodies, but if you think for yourself, well, then we're all kind of screwed. Here we go. Biotransference had left behind only the ghostly echoes of the Necromancer's consciousness. Only a few of the most strong-willed Necromancer among the nobility and the military retained their intellect and self-awareness, and even they were but shadows of their former selves. They had been purged of so much of what made them unique individuals, but unlike the Silent King, most of the Necrons at first cared not at all for their loss. All that mattered to them was that they would live forever without disease or death, as their stargates had promised.
I mean, technically, you're right. I mean, they would be like, they'd be relishing in this idea that they've become immortal. Like, I mean, it would take them years of it to figure out the shit that's happened. And even then, the Silent King is just like, hey, just keep following my protocols and stuff like that. Like, it'd be like, so they kind of are living in this like kind of paradise in a way, like in a sixth sense. They're living.
Yeah,
they're not was to them a paradise. Yeah. They can never fear death right now.
Yeah, they're not going to be organic or anything anymore. But for them, organic is fucking terrible. You don't want to be it.
Yeah,
like, it's a life of hell.
These guys are like, fuck it, we're gods now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm on the same level as the gods right now. I'm in the same body.
Yeah.
So fuck yeah. Renewed and empowered as never before by the devouring of the souls of an entire species, the Satan were now unstoppable. And with the undying legions of the Necrons marching in their wake, the old ones were doomed. Only one thing truly remained of the old Necromancer, their burning hatred for all the other living intelligent species of the universe. Legions of the undying living metal warriors set out into the galaxy in their tomb ships, and the stars burned in their wake. The old one's mastery of the warp was now countered by the Satan's supremacy over the physical universe, and the ancient enemies of the Necrons suffered greatly in the interstellar slaughter that followed.
Which it just kind of sucks because again, like the old ones are like, hey, we have all literal live like what it says here, like the intelligent species, right? They're like they wage war against all intelligent species, and yet the intelligent species is also technically divided because the Altarians, like the Altari, hate the humans.
Oh, the Eldari.
Yeah, the Eldari, some of them, the ones that survived, hate humans. I read that in the guy's post in the comment. You'll see.
Oh, we'll get to that comment actually very shortly, but
yeah,
I think like some do, some don't. Like most races, there's always diversity. I think a lot of people hate the Imperium, but like a lot of those sort of races, like the Imperium, Tal, Eldari, they've worked together a few times.
True.
Like, greater need, like, hey, like we could kill each other, or the Tyranids over there are gonna wipe us all out.
Yeah, true. That's not. Yeah, you're not wrong.
But yeah, there's no like hard allies or anything. Yep. But yeah, Necrons, they just fucking hate everybody. You're alive, you and your people and your ancestors didn't want to help us. Fuck you. That's the impression I'm getting from that.
Sorry, Steam just had a fucking Steam replay pop up for me. Like, go away.
But that's pretty cool. So when we do our next episode, we've got the Necrons Ascendant, which should be real interesting.
It will be interesting.
So we got a lot here for that. We got the Tide Terms, Enslaver Plague, ooh, the Silent King's Betrayal, Great Sleep. This
and then the Rise of Humanity.
Yeah, the Great Sleep. That's where a lot of stuff happens.
I'm looking forward to that one. I like listening about the Rise of Humanity with the whole fucking Terra and the Emperor and Age of Technology. That's actually there you go, the Age of Technology. But yeah, anyway, this is gonna be fun.
So that's pretty actually cool. Like I knew like for the most part like what sort of the Satan did to the Necrons, but I didn't realize it's like how much energy they're actually just absorbing just naturally, and then over time it's like,
fuck it, we'll take it all.
Yeah, and then it's like, so not only am I engorging myself on the energy of your body, now I'm engorging on the energy of your spirit.
Yeah, but not only that, they'd be like, oh, we're slowly feasting on you, but we can speed up the process now because we can like make you our machines. First, we like rid you of your bodies and we'll eat them, and then we'll send you out to do our bidding so we can eat more. Like these guys are just devious, man. Like they'd be like, all right, I love the way you taste, but I need it quickly and now I want more. And
to think of it too, they're probably like, okay, so this is what Necrons taste like. What do the old ones taste like?
Yeah,
and now I have a whole army to go find out.
Yes. I mean, technically, they wouldn't just be waging war on the old ones. They're waging war on anything.
Anything alive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's cool as shit. So that actually filled in a lot of blanks for me. I'm certain our understanding on a few things is probably off. But I read it page for page. So once I have a time to stew on it, I'll probably get better on a few things. But
I mean, that was great, dude. Like, I'm impressed.
Yeah, like it was still cool as shit. Like, there's still a lot of stuff we have to cover. Like,
100%.
Like, we've got to get once the Necrons are asleep. We haven't even got to where's the Eldari? Where's the Orcs or the Crocs? Yeah, there's so much going on. Like, we won't hear from the Tyranids for a very long time. Tau, likewise, in terms of story, will be ages before we really do anything on them.
So yeah, well, technically, our next species is humans. So after Necrons, it's humans.
I think in the order of things, it starts with humans next. I'm not seeing anything titled Eldari.
Well, technically, it started with it started with Necrons, goes humans, and then I'm pretty sure it may go orcs or something. I don't know. I didn't look that far ahead.
Okay. I think it's just going. So it's like sort of basic order of operations. So we've got like the rise of humanity and how we started. And we got like the technological age and how that fell. And then we got Age of Strife. And then way later is we got the fall of the Eldari. Then we got the Great Crusades, the Horus Heresy.
It kind of jumbles in. Oh god, the Horus Heresy.
Oh yeah, there's so many books for that.
Heresy.
So yeah, so we're definitely going to be touching on a lot of bases here as we get further down. But then we'll do dedicated episodes as well.
Yeah, I saw a post. This one's just funny to me. It's a My Little Pony getting strangled by a space marine, and up above says, "And friendship is magic. Magic is heresy." And it's like strangling the fuck out of a unicorn.
Oh god, there's that clip going around of the two Black Templars. They're fighting Sonic.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a fucking horrifying clip, and then
the one with the furries.
Yeah, the furries. Brother, avenge me, brother.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't even know what I was watching until I was flicking through stuff, and I saw that. Like, oh god.
Some people are just sick, man. Like, there's some people just need help. It's funny, but it needs help.
I'm not a furry. I'm a hedgehog. Oh, honey.
If you
So I've got the comment here from Arnold.
I also do. Would you? Can I read something?
If you want to read this, man, you go for it.
Alrighty. Arnold T4P commented on our last video.
Yeah. So for a bit of context, guys, commented a few days ago. Whatever dumb reason I didn't get the alert, so I've commented it, but we're going to address it now because they made some great points here for us. I need to take it.
Also, man. It's just also I want to say thank you, Arnold. Thank you a lot because again, not only does that you started your comment make us feel like we're actually, I mean, again, second episode in, but we're doing something right. It felt good to I was at work when Dax here told me that we actually had a comment. So when I looked at it, I was just like, it made my day to know that we're helping someone have some entertainment. And also some of the points that they also just kind of go briefly. I say briefly, but there's a lot here. They help us understand exactly what the points of our last video that we may have misconstrued or failed to understand, which helps. I've only read through half of this, so half of this I'm not even going to know. But I won't read the top of his message because anybody can go see it as well. It is a great message. We'll just jump straight into technically the stuff that would fill in for our information that we got wrong. So firstly is I don't think the warp would just vaporize you. A normal human can go into the warp. What will happen is you'll either be corrupted by chaos or possessed by a demon or just straight up eaten by demons. I mean, that makes more sense considering considering that we technically were in the chaos. We're in Space Marine 2 as well. You mean we went into the chaos? Do you remember the last mission?
Into the warp.
The warp. Sorry. Yes, the warp. Yeah, the normal can go into the warp. Yeah, okay. Demons obviously eat souls. Eldar have the largest, so attract the most of, and humans have about average. And Tau obviously very small souls.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I like that.
There was actually a battle. I think it was one of the first ones. Sorry, not to jump in. I think it was Farsight. The first time they encountered demons, and they tried to fight back, and then the demons kept coming. They killed the ethereals that were with Farsight. And when they sort of realized what was going on and stopped trying to fight the demons just lost all their power, and they just left.
Yeah. Well, I mean, demons.
I think they'll fight.
Thing about you need to if you give them more power by acknowledgement.
Yeah, and giving into rage. I think they were fighting humans at the time. I don't quite know the specifics. I haven't done Farsight stuff yet. I love Shadow Sun, but I haven't. Farsight's cool as shit. He's got an awesome mech and his sword and everything, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
We've got entire episodes we've got to do on the warp, all the races. So we're just start from the beginning. We'll just work our way through.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, for example, during the Tau's failed 4th expansion, they tested warp drives but didn't create Gela shields. I think I said that right. Gela shields.
Yep.
So when they entered the warp, most of the humans with them were immediately possessed by demons, and their ships were attacked by tons of demons. That's probably like one of the fights we were talking about.
Mhm.
Also, the humans had manifested a minor chaos god. Love that.
Yep.
Which basically represented the Tau's greater good religion.
Yes.
So they have a greater good religion? I guess, yeah, technically the Tau are the good guys, aren't they?
The greater good is their creed.
Yeah, okay.
It's not a religion.
Oh, the zeal in their way.
Yeah, how their society operates.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, we do everything for the greater good. It's not like a holier sort of thing.
Yeah. So
but they also humans and how they affect the warp, whatnot. So many of them had joined the greater good and the Tau, whatnot, and believed in it so strongly it was becoming a religion.
That makes more sense.
Very kind of similar to what was happening with the Emperor, to my understanding.
Oh yeah, because they started just creating a religion.
Yeah, if you believe in something hard enough in this universe, it apparently happens.
Well, I mean, technically everybody's born with some sort of psychic energy, so... A third of their fleet managed to survive, and the survivors had become extremely xenophobic towards humans. That's the comment I was making.
Yes.
So there are also many examples of orcs going directly into the warp, like Tuska, the Tuska demon killer. Orcs either don't use Gellerfields or there are rarely fatally.
There's a really faulty.
Really faulty. Okay, so yeah. So they end up attacked by demons during the warp and travels a lot. Side note: orcs love fighting them though. So
yeah.
this is like that.
Anything for a good scrap.
I love that.
They don't care.
He put a little smiley emoticon too, like he's laughing about.
Yeah, so that's the fun part about orcs. Like they don't give a fuck if it's fun, they'll fight it.
Yeah, cool. I love that. It's so good.
And they use teeth as currency.
Okay, so another comment now. This one he actually did put a side note, so I will read the comment and then I'll put the side note.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think the Chaos Gods reside in a small part of the warp. They basically are the warp. This is where he edited it because this is where he gives you the credit because you are correct on some of this. I was incorrect on this. They do reside in only a section of the warp, basically close to our galaxy. The warp is larger than they are, which makes sense. I think that's what you also stated last episode.
Yeah, I knew
something about that.
They're in a section of the warp, but I don't know how big the warp is.
Yeah, well,
like, I don't know if the warp was galaxy-wide, universe-wide. Like, that was a detail I just never really looked at.
Yeah, well, basically,
which
he
makes
just
sense.
said that you are correct in that sense. The webway
I got one.
Oops. Yeah, you got one. So the webway is basically a stable part of the warp created by the old one's IIRC. I
always forget what IIRC is. The T tells me all the time.
The rest of the warp is just hell, to my understanding. Okay. All right. He did edit this one as well. Before Slanesh was birthed, the elder gods filled up the warp, but then Slanesh was birthed.
If I remember correctly. Sorry.
Yeah.
IIRC.
If I remember correctly. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Was then birth. They almost all got eaten, and then the warp became super unstable, and the 4 chaos gods took the land, in quotation marks, quite a few of them actually, quotation marks, the elder gods resided in. Okay, so technically the section the elder gods resided in, they decided to like take some of it. From what I'm hearing, they infiltrated that section of it. Edit 2, Nurgle Khorne and so
Tzeentch.
Nurgle, Khorne, and Tzeentch. Is that 3 people, or is it Nurgle, Khorne is just one person?
There's 3 different chaos gods. So
okay, so Nurgle, Khorne, and Tzeentch.
Grandfather Nurgle.
Grandfather Nurgle existed basically since the start of the warp, but they held back by the elder gods and the old ones, if I remember correctly. But once the Eldar, or Eldar? Is that supposed to be Eldari? Eldar spawned, Slanesh, most of their gods got eaten. Okay, so this Slanesh ate some of the gods.
Oh, yeah.
And then the 4 chaos gods basically took control of all the warp again. Okay, so then the Eldar was in control of the war. Slanesh was born, 8 gods, then 4 chaos gods took back control. If I'm like kind of piecing it, or am I reading
That's
that
what I'm
wrong?
getting right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The Elder created their gods in their own psychic. Oh, with their own psychic powers, and basically used them kind of like servants. Wow, they use gods basically as servants.
That doesn't surprise me.
They'd create a god specialized for a certain task, and then that god would perform it to empower the elder to perform, or empower the elder to perform it.
Okay, well that makes kind of sense.
Wow. Okay. What a group of dicks. Like,
Yeah,
they're
well,
just creating gods for their own
they're
convenience.
harnessing psychic energies to create an entity that's solely focused on one thing, so a god of nature. So
That's
then you have all this energy in one thing, creates a being. That God's job is just to look after nature. Fine. Okay, we're out here. A forest fires came through. Hey, God, I need you to fix this.
God of water.
Yeah. So that's my understanding of that.
God of rain or something like that, you know what I mean?
Which also makes sense on how they made Slaanesh.
Yeah. Okay. Now this one I think I know. The Eye of Terror is a great rift that simply places where the warp. Simply places where the warp has started to appear in the material world. So in other words, it's where the warp is leaking through.
Yeah, so if you look at the map for 40K, you see like big purple. Yeah, that's the warp bleeding through.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Very bad.
On the world, on the world, you can see that the crack is like purplish.
Yeah,
makes more sense.
It doesn't only just affect space; it affects time.
Because of how weird the warp is, the Eye of Terror is basically infinitely big, despite having a defined border in real space.
You're basically looking through a porthole of a ship into the ocean.
Wait, so in other words, it's like looking through a window into like an infinite space.
Yeah.
But it has a defined border around it because it's like looking through. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, so the edges are the porthole, and you're looking through it to the ocean.
Lorgar. Other than that, Lorgar.
the word
bearers, fucking traitor Primarchs. Lorgar, which is the word bearers, traitor Primarch, which is just their Primarch, started the Imperial Creed. All right, that's their religion.
Not the ecclesiarchy.
No, not the ecclesiarchy. He basically wrote the book about the Emperor being a god. So this is the guy that created the fucking religion based on the Emperor.
Right,
which kind of just spread more out then.
So recently I started hearing about Lorgar because even for me, he's new. But I knew he was like starting to do shit like this, about preaching about the Emperor being a god, whatnot, but I didn't know the specifics as well as the ecclesiarchy. So good to know.
Yeah, so he basically wrote the book about the Emperor being god and preached about him. The Emperor reprimanded. Oh fuck yeah, he definitely reprimanded him. He literally made him sit down and watch his people get slaughtered. That's how he reprimanded him, by the way.
The Emperor reprimanded him harshly for this, but ironically, while Lorgar no longer believes the Imperial Creed, it became the Imperium's religion.
Yep. So in other words, once the Emperor's like, hey, fucking stop it, he's like, oh, make me, in a way. So basically I'm summing it up. He's like, make me. The Emperor's like, fine. Literally, in a way, grabbed him by the fucking shirt, sat him down, and slaughtered his people, and almost destroyed his entire home world.
Well, how do you
making him watch?
How do you stop religious zealots? You can't exactly just say no.
I mean, true, but like again, hang on, my fucking camera's like freaking out.
Yeah, a bit later, I'll teach you how to fix that.
I think it's this fucking light. Is it this? See, it's the light. It's the light on my fucking headset.
There's literally a button. I'll show you later how to do it. It's an autofocus. It's easy to turn off.
I'll have to turn that off. Okay, so also the Tau aren't the good guys. Never mind. At least not more than the Imperium or Eldari. The three I would consider the good guys. Okay, so this guy considers the three of them as the good guys.
Yeah.
Their ethereal caste basically uses mind control to keep the other Tau castes in line. Okay. There's also evidence they have genocided other alien species using artificial diseases which don't affect the Tau. Chemical fucking warfare. Cool. That fucking goes through at least some sort of Geneva Convention. Also, as I stated in my other comment, some of the Tau have actually become xenophobic, which yes, we did read, after seeing humans get possessed by demons. Long term, the Tau will probably become like the Imperium in terms of xenophobia. Yes, they are also extremely fucking alienized racists. They're only been around for a fraction of the time every other race has. Oh, so these guys are basically new.
Tau have only been around for about 5,000-6,000 years.
Yeah, so they're basically young compared to the Imperium.
Incredibly young. So
okay, they haven't been taught the harsh reality. I love that comment. They haven't been taught the harsh reality of the 40K universe.
That part is very true because they're so new. They don't know how shit the universe is.
Yeah,
but they're learning.
Yeah, they're learning.
Now, I just want to address that one real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
I agree, but sometimes to a little bit disagree with the Tau one, only because, like, for the record, I don't like this info has been fucking awesome. But from what I've seen, I know I'm talking to someone who's been in this longer than I have. From what I understand, when the Tau were originally released, they were by essence the good guys because everyone wants a good guy. It wasn't until later that stuff was added or found out through research, in universe that they were doing mind control and stuff like that. To bring them up to the dark and gritty. It's like, okay, I get that. That's cool.
So they're still technically the good guys, but they have to have some sort of dark fucking thing going on.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense for like the Imperium as well.
Yeah, it's also not surprising too. Like, okay, yeah, they've killed other alien species. That's nothing new for this universe.
No, we literally just read that these the Necrons are going around now just executing species.
Yeah. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me in the least. But like the xenophobic part as well is like they still have shitloads of other alien races in the Tau Empire. It's not just Tau crude humans. There's like way more. Even ones like we don't have photos for. We just have names. So it's still human as a xenophobic as fuck. Yeah, so it's still Star Trek on their side of things.
Yeah,
but they just don't like humans as much because whenever
the humans
whenever humans are around warp, it never ends well. So like I agree but disagree.
I mean, that's fair though. Like you can have these discussions, which is good.
Yeah, like this is the fun part of discussions. It's awesome.
So this is why Farsight created the Farsight enclaves.
Bingo.
Because he noticed everyone acting different when their ethereal commander died.
Yes.
Okay. So now the Farsight enclaves basically kill any ethereal on sight, and it's become a no-go zone for the rest of the Tau Empire. Okay. The Farsight enclaves, along with a small part of the Imperium and the Craftworld Elder, interesting, could be considered the true good guys, but they are a very small part of their respective factions.
To tack onto that one as well, from my understanding, from what I've learned and from what I've seen of other podcasts as well, like everyone pretty much universally agrees, Farsight enclaves is the closest thing you do get to the good guys.
Yeah.
Because not only do they don't fuck with the ethereals, because Farsight's a bit later from when the Tau first came out. But that's when like the law came in about the mind control stuff, and then Farsight, having the battles, and once the ethereals died, I'm like, my head's not foggy anymore. And then they figured that out. So like they're still trying to do the thing, like, the greater good, what's best for us and the people around us, but they're not just going around wiping people out because they fucking feel like it.
I mean, okay, so his next comment actually, it speaks a lot more to me now, like especially now that I know this. The Imperium is the way it is in order to survive. I think all species are in the way that they are to survive.
Facts.
In the past, after the AI revolt, the humans' alien allies all turned on them, and the major alien players in the current galaxy are all pretty evil. Makes sense, they had no one to turn to. They literally just fought a fucking AI and like, all right, none of you guys are fucking helping. Fuck you guys. While
they did.
True. I mean, but they just couldn't do much against the. I mean, how long did the AI battle go for though?
A fair while.
Okay,
From what I understand, like which we'll get to in a couple episodes, like it's there. But basically, when the AI spread across the galaxy because of humanity and everything the AI was doing, it affected everybody. And when shit hit the fan, like all the races got in the fight.
Oh, so
and that's why one of the reasons why all the races are so pissed off at humans is because they fucking made them.
Ah, okay. Now
That's what I've learned so far, and also why the Imperium fucking hates AI, and especially the Tau, because Tau have AI.
Yeah, while some peaceful races are probably wiped out by the Great Crusade, the humans couldn't afford to risk their allies turning against them. Makes sense.
Mm.
Much like the Craft World Elder, humanity does things we would consider evil to ensure their own survival.
True.
It's the 40k universe. It makes more sense that way.
Yeah.
You have to look at it from their perspective. The Imperium was nearly destroyed by chaos and is constantly attacked by Xenos. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The Human Federation in the past was destroyed by AI. Their alien allies turned on them and an explosion of human psychers and warp stormers.
Yep.
Okay. So they are very much justified in their actions. It makes sense. I mean, they literally have like a campaign because they've just got the shit that's done to them. It's kind of like it is literally the human version of the Necrons.
Yeah.
In a sense, it kind of is.
Yeah, everything's what shit, every man for himself.
Exactly. Humanity simply could not exist if they weren't so superstitious and xenophobic. The Human Federation was even more powerful than the Imperium. Interesting. And was wiped out by the Xenos and Chaos. Finally, I think the Satan was eating the Necron's sun, which made it bigger and caused it to emit more radiation. Oh. That's why they get super cancer. Thought that maybe an old law, didn't see why they wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know, but the Satan Sun, that would make sense.
Yeah, so technically, I see in my head now. This is, and I think it kind of fell along line. This, I think, like, in my head, I think that they kind of fed half on it, moved to a different source.
Maybe
because I thought it was dead, so which gave them super cancer.
Maybe it was just a long-winded plan. Like, who knows?
I mean, yeah, that makes it feeds into their fucking theory of like that they were just intelligent. You know what I mean? They were intelligent beyond belief. Like they could have planned this entire thing.
Yeah.
Which also means that they would have seen the fight. It makes more sense that they would have seen these species grow up, travel to different places, fight the old ones to come back, you know, feel like all hope was lost. They're feeding on their son, which clearly, by this standard, isn't very quick.
Yeah.
Either. Like it takes a while, which makes it kind of make sense. These guys didn't even know they were probably basking in the energy of of a Satan, which is probably what's giving them super cancer.
Probably.
Who
crazy. Knows?
But Arnold, man, thank you again. Thank you. I mean, if you have
agreed,
if you post like if on this one as well, if you post another comment with more stuff that we probably got wrong or things that you agree with as well, please just reach out, man. Like I am so glad to be seeing this because it means that like a lot more has been opened up in my mind to what actually is happening.
And it's opening further doors for discussion, which is awesome.
Exactly. Like
I mean, to be honest, I feel like me and Arnold, we could sit there with a beer and we could talk about the Tau and how non-evil or actual evil they are for a good couple days.
I mean, you could technically do that about all factions, though. You know what I mean? Like he's opened up that pathway to be like, well, shit, maybe maybe like this is more than I thought. Like,
oh yeah,
to me, I thought that everybody was bad, but clearly, like obviously, they need some good guys.
Yeah, you got to have one guy to root for.
Yeah, I mean,
and good in this universe is still subjective. It's like, hey, he's the good guy. Genocided 100,000 people.
But again, Arnold, thank you for like bringing up the whole the Imperium and stuff like that. I'm a huge Space Marine fan. Like I listen to the podcast about the lore on the Primarchs, the fucking the like the ranking systems,
Mm.
all that kind of stuff. I listen to that shit. You know what I mean? Like I listen to that. This when you talk about the Imperium and how it pretty much just says they're justified in the way that they act. It means like I feel like I'm not totally rooting for like the bad guys, which for me, obviously, I'm a Space Marine guy all the way. I mean, if I decided to play the tabletop version, I would probably choose a Space Marine faction. I would choose the Imperium. I don't think I'd choose it. If not, I'd probably again choose the Necrons because I like the way that they look and the way that they act. But like
Reanimation protocols is so bullshit.
Yeah, I knew about them.
But that's it. That's if you pull it off. Unless the whole squad gets wiped, which Tau are good at doing.
Yeah, well, because they shoot from a distance.
Oh yeah,
long range cannons.
The main joke is if you see the Tau up close, they're probably losing.
But like this is what I mean. Like I'm a huge nerd for the Warhammer, the Imperium, man. Like I mean I don't know the background lore. I don't. But when you bring this, like this is why I love this comment so much, is that you've engaged with us on a level that and someone who's like severely dyslexic can read and understand. So you've made it that way. Which, by the way, I love the format that you've used here. Like, you've actually taken the time to
broken into points, man.
Like, this is amazing. Like, I mean, most of the time, people would just lump this shit together and be like, "All right, hit send." Like, you're wrong and shit. But like, thank you, dude. Like, again, Arnold, it does mean a lot. Like, I mean, I would also comment, but for some reason, I gotta change my fucking name on here because it's not the same name. So yeah, you wouldn't even notice, but I did like the comment as well.
Yeah, I saw that. To further tack on to the Imperium one, basically the Imperium is not even remotely as strong as it used to be. So they're just surviving with scraps, and they're only just now really getting going. So like, yeah, when the AI was running around, humanity was so advanced. Like basically, Necron was just under levels.
Yeah.
So that's like how far humanity came and then fell. So yeah, like when we get into it, like there's some cool shit to learn. But yeah, agreed, Arnold. Like, yeah, thank you so much for the comment. Like, yeah, it's like I was saying earlier, like we just had 40 plus years of content and books and all sorts of shit to tear through, and we're probably going to forget about 3/4 of it and relearn it again. And then someone's going to yell at us because we got it wrong. Like, but I'm here for it. We're going to wrap that up there. This is our second episode that we've just gone through. Just shy of 2 hours. So fucking go us.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, we didn't have any interruptions this time.
No, we just had long tangents.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, like, that's fine. Like, we don't have to cut much, you know? Like, I mean, then again, you guys don't even see the cuts that we practically do.
Oh, like it's pretty obvious when something's been cut.
I mean, yeah, but like the amount we didn't have to cut, we probably won't have to cut things as much for this one.
No, not really.
Exactly. But I think you probably pump out a full 2-hour fucking video.
Me hacking up along is the only thing I'll have to cut out.
Yeah, but that's because I heard the clap. Oh shit, I did the clap. Fuck. That's right. Cuts that.
Because you kept talking and then did a clap, it's like the waveform doesn't change much. Is when you got clap, pause, clap. That's when I know where to look for. Right, because I do all the editing. so yeah, that was the War in Heaven, or the intro to it. Like we haven't actually gotten to the war.
Yeah, no, we actually haven't. We technically that was the lead up, the build up for why they're being changed.
Yeah, so
but we did. We also did go over the fact that they started the change.
Yeah,
like they actually fully changed now.
Yeah, the War in Heaven beginnings and biotransference and the rise of the Necrons. So, like when we come back on our next one, you got the Necron's Ascendant, which if we tear through that, we can get through the Tide Turns. So, like when we actually get into the War in Heaven, I just stopped at a paragraph and it says, "By the carnage of the War in Heaven coalesced in the previously formless energies of the warp." We're getting there.
Yeah, we slowly but surely we're getting there.
Oh, wow. War, pain, and destruction were mirrored in the bottomless depth of the Sea of Souls. That was the warp. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be cool.
Deep.
Yeah, so we got work to do. So
We do.
I'll still title this episode, the War in Heaven, because that's just where we are in the wiki scrolling down.
Yeah. But next time on this podcast, I'll have a ring light so my camera can move a lot nicer. You'll be able to see me properly. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, you won't be able to see any of the background stuff because it'll. Oh, actually, no, you probably would.
Honestly, if you have your task manager the way it is right now, that is perfectly fine.
Yeah, but then I can't really read it because my task manager is like it's the full screen right now.
Yeah, but don't you have 2 windows?
The one I'm staring at now.
Yeah, just put everything up there. Looks like you're staring at me or my forehead.
Ooh, nice way, bro. Just like,
yeah, I need to try and
clean that shit.
But that's it for us, guys. So thank you very much for everyone for sitting here and hanging out with us in our 2nd episode ever. Links will be in the description for socials, whatnot. Whenever Oni gets socials and wants to plug them, we'll put them in there too.
I do have one. I can link my old Instagram.
That's it. That's only if you want it there, man. If you don't want that shit there, that's fine.
It's more of my personal life stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's easy stuff. Like I only do my V Reddits and stuff like that. Like my edits and stuff.
Take it from someone who's been in the internet a long time. Build up to it. You do not need 10 million people following your Instagram yet. That's the stuff you get down the road.
Follow my Twitch though. I will put my Twitch in the bio.
Yeah, put your Twitch in there.
I definitely put that because that.
Yeah, see, that's more like it.
Yeah, definitely follow my Twitch. I don't stream as much, but I'm gonna get back into it. Hopefully next year. I'll actually.
See, I knew we had one.
Start my streaming. I've got my Twitch, but like I haven't used it in a while. But I will get back into streaming like when I've because I'm starting to because obviously I'm working on times now as well. Now that I've got like a decent schedule, I'll work on actual like streaming days, and I'll actually start a streaming day.
Good. So you should. We can multi-stream.
I was probably that's what I was going to think. I was thinking I was going to just stream the same days that you were streaming, really, so that way, like multi-streaming that. So
yeah,
kind of like having the multi-stream so people can watch different point of views.
Yeah,
we'll figure that out.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much again for watching this. Looking forward to the next episode and all the fun goodies we're going to get to and the chaos of the Necrons. And hopefully we start getting more. I really want to get more info. What actually happens in the war. Yeah, I want details like when do the elves come in and everything.
Oh,
the Quarks I actually know nothing about, so I will want to learn.
Same.
So yeah, so thank you guys. Love you all. Hope everyone's a great Christmas break and a new year, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Turtles.